Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We kind of had a busy day, so I wanted to take a second so that if you wanted some analysis and feedback over, I go back to May 1937 for your poetry assessment, that I could at least explain and go over the answers with you. Let's take a look at some of the questions. The first question made sure that it pointed out that you had to use the context clue that was underlined in order to validate what this word meant. The context clue that is underlined is plates of blood. Okay, that does not include the word bent. Plates of blood would indicate color, and it's red. For those of you who indicated narrow, which was the only other one that was really popularly picked, please understand, one, that in order to be bent, something doesn't have to be narrow in order to do that, and that this description is for glinting, as far as how they glint, which would indicate sight or visual, visual attention as well. Number 2 was a pretty well-scoring question, about 75% or so of people getting it right. But for those of you who are getting it wrong, you're picking one of the supplemental reasons. So it says, why doesn't the couple want to get married in this poem? What's the primary reason? The poem really does follow a set of cause and effect, that this inexperience in the youth that the parents have, that they're dumb, that they're young, that they're just starting their lives, is going to cause them to make this bad decision. But it's only a bad decision because of what happens afterward. The fact that there's going to be some bad things that happen in the future, that they are going to cause harm, that they're going to suffer, that they're going to want to die. And so when I was thinking of the 3 lines that would support your answer, we see those 3 as well. We also see that in do what you're going to do. So even though it's true that they're young to make a commitment, though the poem doesn't even say that explicitly, even though it's true that they are dumb, that they're not right for you, each of these 3 things are what leads to the primary reason, which is that their marriage is not going to work out, that their marriage is going to be harmful as well. The speaker is the child. We can see this here with the line, I want to live. And of course, we can see that with my mother and my father, and those lines up here and here. Okay, for number 4, it's really open-ended as far as different words that you can pick. So let me clear these out for you. I did ban the lines I did ban certain lines that you couldn't use, so let me eliminate those first. So you couldn't use these 3 for this response because there's not really imagery or particular diction. Just because it's written down doesn't mean it's a particular piece of word choice that the author used. There has to be a conscious decision to use that word. So I did suggest not using long lines or phrases for this prompt as well. So you guys did an awesome job on finding some things, but everyone broke my heart because no one found the line that I thought is most powerful as well. So let's go ahead and start at what you could have picked. This was worth 6 points. So if you had to find 3 pieces of evidence, if the evidence was accurate, you got half a point. Okay, so it was half a point, half a point, half a point, and that gets you to 1.5. If your evidence was interpreted, I gave 1/2, 1/2, 1/2. But that interpretation had to be correct. So if your interpretation was not correct, just analytically, then I did take off 1/4 of a point as well. So that's how I tried to like break out the grading of it as well. So let's see. Bent plates of blood might indicate violence. The fact that it's a pillar, something that might be sacrificial, no one picked that one, but that could possibly be used. People used wrought iron as something that was like serious and formal and maybe a little violent because of the metal type. And then some people added on gate as well because they thought it showed something starting, something ending, being trapped, opening into something else because the gate was still open behind her like she could run and escape. Sword tips was a great choice, indicating violence as well. Had just a few students pick up the fact that the sun is setting and that darkness is coming in. Those are all great choices. Hungry, describing their eagerness and the seriousness of starting life. Pitiful, uh, untouched about how they're young and inexperienced and how that might lead to making poor decisions. Arrogant for the man, as far as him not believing he's wrong, that might indicate violence of the father in the future. Paper dolls. Some of you pick paper dolls as far as they're being controlled. Bang is a word for violence. Chips of flint is indicative of starting a fire. They're getting hit together, striking sparks. It's very violent imagery, but no one pointed out, of course, that if you take paper dolls and you bang them together to strike sparks, they're going to catch on fire and burn up because they're made of paper. Anyway, I hope that helps if you do decide to watch this. Have a great day. Bye.